When a house goes from 100,000 to 1,000,000, you didn't make that person rich. You just made everybody else who didn't have houses poor. And this is where I'm going to throw the Bitcoin
Yeah.
narrative
This is
in the mix
this is
here.
the context for why we keep banging on.
And this is where I really started to get pissed off as a capitalist, because I started to see in Australia what happened and what I observed in America. When I moved to America in 2011, I went over there as a full-on capitalist, right? USA, personal development, Tony Robbins, set goals, you're poor because you choose it, all that, right?
Yeah.
That was me. And I went to America, and what I observed over there is, like, I lived on the corner of Robertson and 3rd, which is one block from the Four Seasons in Beverly Hills, like right in the middle of the fancy area. And I'd go for my morning walk through Beverly Hills, past Steven Spielberg's place and Geffen and all these famous people. And you'd see, without doubt, homelessness everywhere. One morning I sat and there's a guy taking a dump on a bus stop at 10 o'clock in the morning in Beverly Hills. And I went, there's something broken here. This is not right. What's the point of having a $20 million Beverly Hills mansion if there's a guy taking a dump on the bus stop at the front, right? Like, it literally, I saw this, right? And I saw this more than
What's
once.
those big walls?
Oh, yeah, it's terrible.
No, I know.
I mean,
That's
it's,
cool.
when you actually see it, it's actually really sad. It's
Yeah.
mental health issues left unanswered. When you fall off the bottom rung in America, you are done. And this is what happens when the middle class gets hollowed out. Nobody wins, right? The rich live in a little bubble, and it's not fun to be rich because you're hated. You have to have protection, all this. And when I saw COVID and I saw money fly from the sky, I was like, this is not going to end well, because all it's going to do is it's going to go to the poor, who are then going to spend it at Harvey Norman. And Jerry, who's not dumb, is going to invest it in hard assets. So one way or the other, it's either going to go to the billionaires of the world directly through grants, or it's going to go through the poor to the rich and come out as dividends to them, who are then just going to get richer. And what happened is, I saw this when I helped somebody buy a home who was close to me, and that home went from $530,000, a house in Labrador, and 3 years later, it's $1 million, right? And all his friends, who were young people who had been saving away, all of a sudden, in 36 months, they needed double the deposit, which, when you're talking about saving post-tax dollars when you're a young person at the other end, they just got fucked.
Plus service.
Yeah, plus their dream just literally went away by years of their life. And so that, to me, is like, Australians should be asking the question, why did that happen? Why did all the grocery bills go up? It's because a government came in and just said, this fake pandemic, and just threw money at it, printed it. They think, oh, money's just coming from the sky. No, it's coming from your kids' futures. It's coming from putting your children into debt and making them have to pay this back at some point. It's stealing productivity from the future, bringing it to today. And as Friedman said, the best effects of inflation are felt like alcohol. At the start, it's fun for a few minutes. And then if you keep drinking, and then you got to stay drunk, or you're going to face the hangover. And that's the phase we're in at the moment.
We are definitely in that phase at the moment. And we've had discussions, I think, in the last couple of weeks about liquidity and whether the stock market is going to follow Bitcoin, etc. And this is the problem, that anything less than increased money printing is going to mean a big collapse in markets. And a big collapse in markets means a big collapse in housing, and it means a big collapse overall. So the government is, they would say, caught between a rock and a hard place. It's like, well, what do you want? Do you want us to go to depression, where all asset prices, you think inflation's bad, wait till you see deflation, they'll tell you.
What we want is, we want a leader strong enough, like Javier Milei in Argentina, to stand up and say, listen, Australia, we need to fucking tighten up here. And they need to be so good and so strong and so authentic that the people stand behind them and say, you know what? They make sense, and we do need to cut back.
The best person that I've heard in Australia articulate it is Jared Rennick, who we've had on the podcast twice. And he basically says it's not money printing that's bad. It's money printing for the wrong assets. The government needs to be money printing for productive assets that they own, not indebting the population into housing when it's now become 3 times you know what I mean?
It's money printing to support bad decisions. It's like Big Jockey said here, he did a reel the other day about how they just gave $500,000 of taxpayer money to a Newcastle university to study Indigenous rights no, how Indigenous people can get involved in space travel. Yeah,
Like how?
like it's this kind of shit.
We as a country need to be investing in hard assets. Like I think we're a
Correct.
resource-rich country. We need to be. The Australian government needs to. I say keep printing money, but not to prop up the fucking housing market and things like that. Start investing in hard assets and infrastructure, energy infrastructure. Energy is going to be the most important thing in the world moving forward over the next 10 to 20
We
years.
don't have the labor.
So-
It's never going to happen.
Invest in
Well,
turning
invest-
invest into turning our resources into valuable items here, rather than shipping them off raw and buying them back from.
But this is where we need to be subsidizing these apprenticeships, etc., because these assets are going to create revenue generation and profit generation tools for our economy and for our country.